Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a new hotness game called Meadow. Meadow is a game for 1 to 4 players from Rebel Studio. Plays in about, it says 60 to 90 minutes. We played at 3, it was about 60, so that's probably pretty accurate. And what you're doing in this is you are drafting cards that are going to have pictures and some symbols, and you're trying to put that in a tableau to be able to score points and use pictures and the requirements of the cards to play other cards. So kind of like building an engine. The drafting mechanisms kind of work like Cat Lady. I haven't played that, but one of the people I played with says that functions kind of like Cat Lady, which will make sense when you see in the video. So just if you've played Cat Lady, this might look a little familiar. So that's effectively all of the game. It's a adorable little set collection game and drafting game. So I'm not going to belabor the point. It has a theme of a meadow. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Meadow, all set up for 3 players. To set up, you're going to put out the campfire board here. Randomly put out these tokens. In a 3-player game, you're going to use the appropriate board. Put the round marker here. You're going to shuffle the west, south, east, and north decks. This will come into the game later. And distribute 4 west, 8 south, 4 east. Then you're going to give each player in a 3-player game these tokens. These 3 tokens, which we'll explain later. A road, a starting card, which has 2 sides. You can see the caterpillar side and the bug side here. And I'm going by the recommended starting setup for a first game. An east card, 2 south, a west, and a north. So everybody has the same thing. And I'm going to keep these off screen just so we can have more room. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be doing on this game is we are trying to draft cards to build a meadow, find some landscapes, so on and so forth, collect sets. Pretty straightforward, but that's what we're going to do. So the way the game works is you have one of these tokens. You're going to play one of these tokens. You're either going to play it over here into the slot for the top action, which means I can take 1 card in from whatever I go. So if 1 in would be here, or I could go on this side, down here, over there, wherever. Take 1 card in, and then I get to play a card, any card. I can play the card that I take. I can play a card from my hand, whatever I want to, but I get to play a card. Or I can take the tile over here, slot it into the campfire board, do the bottom action, and I'll explain those when I use them. And then if I have cards in my meadow that match a pair of these symbols, I can take my lowest tile marker and score some extra bonus points. And that's effectively all of the game. And when we hit after the 3rd round, we're going to cross over here. We're going to substitute the south cards out for the north cards, and then we're just going to play through the game. The north cards are just better. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Purple will be first because they have the compass. So what they're going to do is they are going to... I'd like to get something need bugs. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how some of this works. So I'm going to come over here. I'll take my 2 action. I'll come over here, slot this in right there. Then I can take 2 cards in, so I'll take this one. Then I'm allowed to play a card, so I can look at all my cards, see if there's any that I want to play. So I have another ground card, and these are all cards that will go on top of the ground. So now I'm going to tell you how the cards work. So in order to play a card, the card's either going to be a ground card, so this one I can play for free just down here on the ground. Or I can play another card as long as I have the symbol showing in my meadow. So say I have this down here. This card's requirement is down here in the badge, and it's going to give me a new card and a point. So I could go here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover up the bug because I have to cover up one of the symbols that's a requirement, and then play the card. So now I've gone from a bug to a flower. And the rest of the cards will stay in my hand, and that's my turn. Then the next player, they're going to do the same thing. We'll refill the card as well. So another south card comes out. Let's see. I need a flower. Do we have any flowers in here? Let's look. All right, that's fine. We're going to actually do something different. All right, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to play 2 cards. So at the bottom of this, that's the wrong player. This one. So red's going to come up here. They're going to slot this in, and this action means they get to take play 2 cards. So what they want to do is they'll play the bug, and another green base. And then I'm going to play a landscape. So the way a landscape works is you have to have a road. So you have to have a requirement, and then there may be other requirements. But in this case, I only have to have the road. Then I take it and I'll flip the road to show that I can't use that anymore. And now I have 2 additional points, and I can start working towards observations, which we'll get to hopefully on the next turn. All right. Then it's green player's turn, or blue player, I guess. And they are going to, what do they have? They have a bug. They have a bug down. I'm going to actually take, I didn't want the 1. Let's find the 1. And I want to go here, and I want to take the frog. So I'm going to take the frog, put it in front of their player area, refill it on their east. All right. So that is their turn. All right, and just another fact, there's a breakdown of the icons that are in each deck. You can see, and there's a number of how many. So red is the fewest, yellow, then green. So if you ever want to know, if you're trying to find a certain symbol, you can know which deck to look in. It's pretty helpful. All right, so that is the end of round 1. Or no, that's not the end of round 1. That's the end of turn 1. The rounds will end when everybody's done with all of these tokens. Then this guy will move. We'll do some cleanup. So it's back to purple. Let's see. What do I want to do? I have a flower. Does anything need a flower? Does anything need a flower? Yeah. All right, I'm going to do this. Where's my 1? Take my 1. I'm going to go here. Snag this. So this can be played. It needs a flower. I have a flower. It needs a road. I have a road. So I'll go here, flip the road, and now I have a landscape. This will get refilled. It will be red's turn. They have 3 cards left. They need something that works with green. That'd be nice. That would be nice. But I think we're going to do this. They're going to come here. They're going to do an observation. So the way this works is, this has a requirement. Needs to be on top of a landscape. I have a landscape, so I can take this, put it on top of my landscape for 2 additional points. Both these cards will score, but inside that landscape, I found that tin soldier. This will refill, and then it will be the next player's turn. And what are they going to do? Let's see what they're going to do. Flower and a butterfly. Dang, they got a lot of expensive stuff. Expensive. So they have a frog and a butterfly, or a bug. Does anything want a frog? Nothing wants a frog. Huh. All right, so they're going to, I'd really like to get, where's that landscape that I want? Oh, I can't get, yes I can. All right, so they're going to try to get this landscape. So they're going to go down here. They can take, oh, that's an observation. Shoot, 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 shoot. Dang, this is rough. All right, they're just going to come up here. They're going to use their special power. This one's going to let them look at 1 stack and draw 3 cards and keep 1. So they're going to look at west. Draw 3 cards and keep 1. They drew this, this, and this, and they're going to keep this because they can actually play the landscape. The other 2, but you only get to play 1. The other 2 go back to the bottom of the deck. All right, and the game is going to continue just like that till, well, each round is going to continue like that until someone's used all of their 5 tokens. And then, once that is done, you're going to move this guy. You're going to take back all of your pieces. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll say that we've done that. And done. First player marker will move to this player. Once we cross over round 3, south will come out, north will come in. We'll swipe all these cards and do it all over again. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most points. Points are points on your cards. Any points that you have up here. So if this player scored this pair, they get 2 additional points. And that's that. One other space that I didn't talk about, you can always send one of your markers to the bench here to be able to just play a card. So you could do this if there's nothing else you want to do, but you want to play 1 card, you can go there. I don't recommend it because it's kind of a weak action, but it is a possibility. So that is how you play Meadow. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Meadow. I got to say, this game, it's a pretty light-ish game. I mean, it's not like paperweight or featherweight and it's going to fly away. But it's a pretty light game, easily accessible, gorgeous art. Let's look at some of these cards. So here's an observation card. Just that's a good looking card. I don't even know what that is, like a stick or something. You found a stick in the landscape that you were exploring. It's cool. The theme makes sense. So I didn't go into the theme a ton, but when you're starting on the ground, I have this caterpillar card. When I play this card, I need to have a green, land, and caterpillar. This card has green and caterpillar. So I would take this, my caterpillar would now be a butterfly. So I have a butterfly floating around in my meadow that I can use to play other cards, trigger some landscapes, whatever, all that kind of thing. I love the art. I love the board. I even like these things. This is my buddy's game. And he was putting all this together before we played. While these don't serve a purpose, they're just card holders. The way they go and sit in the board and look is pretty slick. So yes, it's not necessary. You can play this game without it, but it just adds a little bit of flavor and pizzazz, and I like that. The rule book is clear. I read through it today because he taught the game last time we played. I read through it today. It all makes sense. The roads, available to use, not available to use. Everything on this game is just top notch. Like, all iconography makes sense. The theme actually helps teach this game, which I appreciate. So this is a solid game. I like it quite a bit. I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal, which is going to get a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 on our arbitrary rent scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Meadow from Rebel Studio. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.